Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to a sleepy time edition of the Living World of Darkness. We find ourselves in Long Beach, a little bit further out from the city than most kindred are comfortable with. In fact, way, way outside of Manhattan than most kindred of the Camry are comfortable with. But for the clan known as Gangrel, they pursue this as their stomping grounds. Before them, there is a beach. Well, typical of Long Beach, there goes the name. But on this particular beach, we have a few sources of light, actually a few torches that have been pre-set up, as well as a few different logs that have been felled and arranged in a seating arrangement, as well as just a big, big circle that has been drawn in the sand. Frank Green himself understands these different structures, having been there to erect them so long ago, and actually being quite surprised and kind of happy that they are still there. Frank Green has gone ahead and contacted a old youngling of the clan, one Mona. He's also contacted the newcomer, Jason. And Frank Green, for one reason or another, decided to finally pick up his own childer from the care of the kindred known as Rose. Once he actually is seeing her quite physically, and for one reason or another, Frank Green isn't letting little Childer out of his sight, at least not for now. At the moment, there is little to no nocturnal life. In fact, it's getting rather early, which could explain away some of the sleepiness that is currently going on with the gangrel at the moment. Frank Green has his own plans to haven in a shelter nearby. As far as the other two, doesn't really give a rat's ass. They're gangrel, they're survivors. Mostly this is just to make sure that any unit that did come knew how to survive in the wilderness, away from the high flaunting structures and skyscrapers of Manhattan. But we simply begin the scene. Frank, for his part, sitting on one of the felon logs, just looking at the other gathered kindred.
So, you found another one, Elena says, looking at the newcomer, Jason.
Jason is still dressed in his raggedy suit, almost to the point of being a hobo suit, looking at the fire and flames around him. He had shown up in Lady Sheridan's personal vehicle and had made his way down and had nodded to Frank Green and taken a seat waiting for whatever was to come to happen.
Yep, it's a new one. Jason, this is Elena. Elena, this is Jason. Now you're introduced.
Hey. Whatever
Hello.
happened to the other older brother? I haven't seen him in a while.
He wandered off, as you want to do.
Kinda sad. I liked him, even though he was big and scary. Did you ever meet him, Mona? Alan, I think his name was. Rift. Big man, like a gorilla.
I don't think I have met him.
No.
Only
He was
those
huge.
two guys before you came along.
Oh. Frank, did Mona tell you? We went for a walk and we saw a deer, and Mona is really good at sneaking. She's amazing. I need to learn something from her.
No, I hadn't heard that story before.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. So we were sneaking, and we were going to just sneak up on a deer and see who could be the first to touch it. This girl here decided that wasn't good enough. She ran the gauntlet of moonbeams around that thing just as it was sitting there and actually planted a big wet sloppy kiss right on its little forehead before it even knew what hit it. Well, needless to say, it just up and ran, but my god, I've never seen anyone stealth like that. To you, Mona.
Uh, well, it was kind of fun. And you definitely need some practice.
Yeah, kinda rusty.
No, it's very, very good. Very, very good to hear. The only stories I have at the moment happen to be ghost stories.
Oh,
Jason,
another story. Not about the Mothman again. Sorry, go on.
Mothman. What did I say about the Mothman? Oh, yeah. Really weird ass gang girl at Point Pleasant. Eventually took them down. Yeah, perhaps to tell you two, he's pointing at the newcomers, that particular story another time. But no, I'm talking about North Brother Island, actually. Do any of y'all remember that? Guess not.
Nope.
No.
Alright. The first thing that I did when I got to the city was eventually I was just presented to the Seneschal. Seneschal, and then also Promigen at the time, Mr. Silas had a very, very simple job for me. That was simply to stake out a new Elysium spot. And they had this perfect spot, North Brother Island. Just an island in the middle of the Hudson River that depopulated, had a few standing structures that could be renovated for our own personal uses and the like. And they wanted me to go ahead and scout that place out for them. Well, I decided to gather as many capable kindred to myself and take a look. The first structure that we went to was actually coal burning plant, I think, energy plant. Seemed kind of rusty, and actually one of our second sight users went ahead and was frightened of it. In fact, the Malkavian was frightened as well. Simply said something about the island being very, very angry with us for one reason or another. Ghost story. We move on. We push on. I don't think anything of it. I'm just have my little checklist out, going through each of the buildings, seeing what's salvageable, what's not. Into the next building. We decided to split up into two different groups. One of which was going to observe the clinic. The other one was going to observe the residential quarters. Apparently, the people who went to the residential quarters, or at least a burnt arm. They told me that it was attached to an animate corpse, a zombie, which was weird enough. But couple that with the fact that apparently a spook was closing doors on the rest of us and setting fire to a basement, things were starting to sort of build up piece by piece by piece. It got really, really weird when our Auspex user pretty much just shouted at us that there were legions of shades all around us looking at us. At which point, we decided that we needed to bail as quickly as possible. Not really outfitted for this kind of spook mission. And that's that's when it really, really got weird. Have you ever seen a movie go from color to month? Or have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? Just go ahead and take the first 10 minutes of that and reverse it. You go from Oz, which is colorful, wonderful, technicolor, to saffron, back to Kansas. It was all black and white. We ran. We ran very, very far. We ran so far away. We left. Just another instance, another area of the city that is just weird. It's too bad, though. It was kind of a good place to set up an Elysium, but claimed by another power.
Shades? What are those? Like ghosts or?
Ghosts, spirits, shades, free floating auras. Cut out body.
Like in Ghostbusters. Eleanor will just sort of lean over to Mona and go, I think he's pulling our leg. And I'm going
Mona
to roll
just
perception empathy. I'm going to roll perception empathy to see how much of that you've just made up. Because I can. And that is like the worst roll I've ever got. So that was nil because the 6 counted the 1.
Yeah, as far as you know, this is a story you can take at face value. Frank doesn't seem to be embellishing any one part of it.
Still lean over to Mona and go, I think he's pulling our leg. I mean, I've seen some weird shit. But ghosts. I mean, there was that one dude who made my phone float. But he was a bit of a dick.
okay.
Trisha,
I might be mad, but and a little bit too curious. But I would love to meet other creatures that are not humans. I know most of them hate us a lot.
Just get those high-flighting ideas out of your head right now.
what do you mean?
Too many things in this city to take account of at one point or another.
Oh.
Keep it simple. Keep your existence simple. Okay. I'm glad I've gotten you all together, at least for once, because I got some things I need to dispense to the clan. First off, Leonardo Venore has left the city. A problem with that, otherwise I'm going to just continue doing what I've been doing.
Why'd he leave? Seemed he was settled in. Or is this just
He's a wander.
just the us thing?
Yeah, it's an us thing.
Never thought that he'd leave without ever dressing me in that fuchsia dress he so loved. You tell the man pink's pink. You can call it up fuchsia or freaking puce, but it's still pink, and I'm still not wearing it.
What do you mean he simply left you without forcing that dress on you? He left me explicit instructions to do so. In fact, I've got it back at the studio.
You are my sire, and I will respect your wishes, but there are things that I will not do for you, Frank Green.
Fair dues. Fair dues. In any case, where does this leave the clan? Basically, I'm going to look to each one of you tonight and simply give you a choice that you can at any time renege on or change your decision on. I am giving you all a choice, whether or not you want to remain in the city, leave the city, or do whatever. And I'll also give you an out. At any point in this time that you have in the city that you just need to leave, you don't need to make an explanation of it. Just simply say, the clan takes me, and you walk away. This is the choice this is a choice that's available to all of us, whether or not we wish to live in the city, live in the wild, or somewhere in between.
Well, I will definitely stay. We have almost found a perfect place to set up our shop and workroom, and I want to be away from my family anyway.
Fair dues. Jason, you're new.
Well, needless to say, I've found a lot of comfort here in the city, and now that I'm hooking up with this coterie and potentially getting a job and getting my feet set up on the ground, I think I'd like to stay near the city at the very least to be available to where I need to be.
Fair dues, fair dues. Same rules apply, though. Again, choices, 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 but if you have a problem with any other kindred in the city, come to me. There's a reason I'm the sheriff. I enforce the traditions of the Camarilla. I'm also still the Claw of the Clan, whatever that title that may hold.
But of course, so far I've not had any problems with any kindred. They've all been very accepting of me and have brought me within the fold.
And I haven't even seen other kindreds after the first day here. Which is kind of sad, actually.
Fair dues, fair dues. You got your opportunities and your time in the limelight. For myself, I'm still the Claw of the Clan. Does that make me Primogen? Perhaps, maybe, but that's a word they'll use. I'm still Frank Green to you. This brings me to another point. Y'all are beholden not to me, but to y'all selves. I want each one of you to go ahead and exchange contact information with each other. I do not want one single gangrel within this circle not to be able to call out to another clanmate at any one time.
At that, Jason will open up his jacket and pull out a notepad and paper that he's been carrying around and rip out a couple small pages and start scribbling down his new number as he just picked up a phone recently this week and proceed to hand it out.
Eleanor will just take it, and for anyone paying attention, it's quite obvious she's gotten quite a lot more quiet and quite a lot more somber in the last couple of minutes of conversation. But she'll just take the note that's given, and she will do the same by handing her phone number to Jason and Mona. I think we've already exchanged contact details previously.
Yes,
So
we did.
that seems good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eleanor will just hand you a scrap of paper, Jason, and just continue sitting there, hands folded in her lap.
Frank will go ahead and take the number and simply say, and y'all know how to reach me, probably through the studios.
Mm. And you probably know how to reach me. Almost the same way as to reach Mr. Frank.
That being said, Mona, how does the night treat you?
Quite okay, I guess. Sometimes I almost forgot that I'm a little bit different than a year and a half ago. I'm still hanging out with my friends and doing the stuff I did then, and Also,
Okay.
I think I need to see more our kind, not just humans.
Fair dues, fair dues. Don't worry. Next gathering that we should be having in a few days or so, I'll make sure you get an invitation. That being said, I've formed a small little coterie, or in the process of doing so, and apparently we have taken it upon ourselves to be the keepers. At least divide up the responsibility of the Keeper of Elysium amongst ourselves. So, hopefully we'll have meetings more regular, and hopefully they'll be secure enough to make sure that, most people feel comfortable coming along. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Is there something I can help with?
Let's see, something that you could help with. Tell me nice if I think of something, I'll make sure to give you a ring.
Or just knock my door?
What you can do, in fact, is myself and Jason, we're already dividing ourselves into different coteries in the city, and this is what this city needs. The city needs more neonate coteries, because that's how the city will be defended, and this is how the city will grow. Mona, if there's anything I want you to do, is I simply want you to take a look around and see if there's any kindred in the city that you would wish to be joined together as such.
Okay. So, I can play socialite, at least for a moment. By the way, is there any uh, kindred-friendly bars around?
Uh, the penthouse.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I think I have one plan how I could meet new faces. I have been thinking about giving a nightly, well, not nightly, but nighttime lessons from archery and maybe from leatherworking and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you got things pretty much settled on your end. Or at least you got a progress plan to go ahead. Jason, you're nice. How do you?
Well, other than working with the coterie, I just got done talking to Lady Sheridan. Um, she is helping me look into finding a bodyguard position, and if not, I was going to ask Lady Ghost if she had a position open in her bouncing staff for the club she owns.
Fair dues, fair dues. I think that kind of work is going to suit you well, Jason. I see your talents developing as such. Not necessarily building your own portfolio, but definitely helping others protect some of their assets. Fair dues is what gangrels do.
I was also told to ask about the werewolves. Uh, Apparently, Lady Sheridan believes that there would be some friendly like the one she has picked up. I'm trying to find sparring partners to help keep my strength up. I'm finding mortals to be a little weak in that area.
Frank Green just simply looks at you, gives you a very, very stink eye. We'll actually go ahead and take off his sunglasses and look at you and simply say, "Are you insane? Are you Malkavian? Did you wander into the wrong clan?"
I don't think so. I just
No.
jumps back a little bit at the no.
Jason, if you need somebody to spar with, there's a circle right there. I'm ready to fight you right now if you really, really need that contact sport.
I was just going off Lady
In fact, I'm
Sheridan's.
pretty I'm gonna have to talk to Lady Sheridan. No. We are wild men. We are beast men, but they are an entirely different animal. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Good. Don't walk into Central Park. If you walk into Central Park, you are taking your own life.
I have been readily avoiding since the first time you've told me that.
Good, good. It is not just Central Park, it's the people from Central Park. You got me?
Yes.
Good. Other than that, I'm sure there's plenty of capable kindred that would be willing to give you a round or so.
Well, at least I probably need some martial arts training too, not just playing with the arrow and bow.
Well, I'd be more than happy to teach you. In my previous life, I was a bodyguard as well as a bouncer. So learning
Ah,
fisticuffs was a talent I picked up and hoped to keep.
In any case, moving on. Elena,
Mm-hmm.
how you been?
All right.
Just alright?
Just all right. Don't know what you're talking about, that you can't find another supernatural. It seems that they're seeping out of the crevices if you simply walk around enough. And pardon me for being cynical, but what good's a game of fisticuffs if you can't take a hit, Jason? I'd for one I'd like to see what you got in you.
Well, if we have time here, I'd be up for a lesson or two. See what I can take. I've just been in rounds with humans so far. I'd like to see what my potential really is.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm just a baby gangrel. I've been doing this for maybe 2 months now. But I think we can talk later. Right now, it's still Frank's gathering, and I'm not one to disturb that.
At the moment, there are a few draws that you could take, and you can always come back after you've enlightened each other. Me and Mona will just simply sit here and wait for you to come back.
You sure don't mind?
Go ahead.
Elena will stand up, take the little bag that she had slung over her shoulders and just put it down next to Mona, make sure it's zipped up, and then without further warning just say, catch me if you can. And we'll start with the Dex Athletics. I need to check my athletics. Okay. I swear to God, if I have the Brontos curse again. No, that's 2 successes. Alright, well, she's off. You want to try and pick 2 successes and tackle her straight up?
Okay. Jason, while she was getting up, would take off his jacket, but as soon as she took off, he throws his jacket to the side and chases after her.
Mm-hmm. Making notes, still wearing jacket. Mm-hmm. So you chase with 2. Evenly matched. So pretty much you've got two kangaroos sprinting down the beach, very much like Highlander and Ramirez in the first movie, just boom, pelting down the beach like anything. Would you like to go for a tackle? Because she's just going to keep running, and be quite happy to declare it dodges if you do make any attacking moves.
Yeah, he'll go for a diving tackle, trying to take her down. That'd be dexterity and brawl. Let's see. So, one success.
That's one. I shall counter my dodge. Dodge also dex athletics, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Holy snap and dog shit. Vroom! I'm good at running
Baby
away.
gangrel is slippery. The baby gangrel is slippery.
Okay. May I take some liberties, because I was going to do this anyway, but seeing as those successes just happened. Note I said jacket kept on. Let's say you go for a grab and she will actually slip out of the jacket as you grab for her, and then actually just dump it over your face, giving her enough time to just run off again. The old cloak maneuver.
Yeah.
Fun times. And you'll notice that she's actually beginning to climb up a little cliff face. And we'll see if I can roll to hold on.
Yeah. And at this point, Mona actually joins the fun and runs to the otters.
So that was 4 successes as Elena is just going straight up the little cliff face that's sheltering this little bay. If I may be so bold as to say that you're currently tangled up in a jacket, Mr. Verdell, and we're... Alright, holy shit, you're catching up to the cliff face. Alright, but currently gonna need 4 successes or greater to beat Eleanor up the cliff face or grab her back down.
Jason's going to spend this turn to untangle himself and then proceed to try to chase after her. He won't be able to catch her, but he has to see if he can follow her up the cliff face. So,
And
there we
give
go.
us your roll.
2 successes and
Okay.
a bot. Yep. So 2 successes.
Just 2 successes, nice one. Okay, Mona, would you like to give us your climbing roll also? See where we're at in the pecking order?
Okay, just a moment. I'll set up those things again.
Frank, for his part, is simply going to go ahead and stand up, but go ahead and watch this crazy shenanigans that's currently going on. Stepping back, letting it happen, not doing nothing.
And what
Again,
would
you with your double negatives.
be the
Dex athletics we're using for climbing.
yeah, okay, again. Just 1 minute. My dice stream doesn't want to work.
Oh no!
No.
Alright, well, if we're waiting for dice stream, now it's time for word porn. Overlooking the beach, this cliff goes quite a way. Oh yeah, fine, you've got it now.
Yeah.
Ooh, 3 successes. Alright, I'm still going to do word porn. The cliff itself is silhouetted not only by the moon, but also the city lights coming up behind it. In a way, the water reflecting almost in a dramatic upward lighting, the light that is bouncing off the waves, and you've got the lapping of the ocean behind you. The entire scene is one almost of urgency, as not only is blood pumping through limbs, but there's also the hammering of the waves against the surf, against the sand and the rocks that are scattered throughout it. And Elena doesn't look back, but continues to climb. And for the sake of the scene, let's say we'll make one more roll of the to get to the top of the cliff, hey? So here's to
Yeah.
not botching. Okay, 1 success. Alrighty, and the other 2.
Fuck.
Three
Ooh.
successes.
Yes, 3. Okay. And Mona, how did you fare? That's 1 success by my count. Hmm. Okay, Jason, you will not be beaten by 2 girls, will you? There is just something within your animal, within your beast that sees these 2 young ladies, young little feral gangrel ladies, just climbing up this cliff, just going handhold to handhold to handhold, sometimes even just letting go and springing up using both hands. And there's this ingrained um, sense within you, shall we say, that you want to release that inner alpha, as it were. There's something in your beast that cannot have the competition, and so there's that explosion of vita that just goes through your muscles. Let's just say, for argument's sake, and for the sake of the scene, your heart begins to pound, just that feral pounding, like the pounding of a deer running and a wolf giving chase, and you begin to claw and claw and claw yourself up. It doesn't even matter that you not have your claws extended if you have claws ad-libbing, but you just dig your hands into this cliff face, coming up behind these 2 and overtake with great ease. If you would like, you can go for a tackle on either to try and knock either Elena or Mona off, or you can just make it to the top of the cliff face, which would be the goal.
Uh,
And
going to
close
make
your
it to
eyes.
the top of the cliff face, turn around, and get ready into a springing action to spring myself at whoever happens to cross the cliff face behind me.
Ooh, okay, so Mona, let's do final Dex Athletics, and whoever
Yeah.
gets the lowest gets not tackled. Here we go. Okay, that cancels. I have 2. What have you got? 3.
Yeah.
Do your sprinting attack, Mr. Jason.
Uh, 1 success.
1 success. Mona, I will say you can dodge this. Difficulty will be massively increased though, so you're looking probably for 8s because you're just coming over a cliff face.
Okay, and dexterity athletics. Okay. Yep. 1-9.
1-9. Mr. Green, what do you want to? You want to take this one?
Yeah. As he springs at her, she turns slightly, and he goes off the cliff face before realizing what he has done. Tries to make a turnabout in the air and try to grab onto the cliff face.
Well, you try to, and apparently there are a few flock of seagulls that are pretty much saying no to that. If you were to guess, you can see Frank Green, or at least you can hear him crackling and laughing onto the beachhead. As anywhere you try to place your hands is just no, no, no. There's always a feathery pigeon right there to thwart or peck at you, and you fall.
Awesome.
Whoosh.
Ow!
When Mona realized that somebody just ran past her and fell down, she looks over the edge and uh, partly she's worried what just happened, and partly she's just trying to hide her laugh. And she just shakes her head and man, they never learn.
No, they never do until Elena just reaches down her hand, giving you the final hand up.
Mm.
Jason, would you like to roll a soak for me?
Yeah, how do I do that? This is my first time.
Take your stamina and any fortitude you have, and go ahead and roll those dice. You're looking to soak 6.
So 2 successes.
2 successes, that'll bring that down to 4, which will half down to 2. Jason! Cliff.
You just got
Falling.
damage.
Gravity. Any kindred worth his salt is not afraid of gravity, nor should a gangrel be either. But you go ahead and start to learn that lesson pretty damn well. You seem to just fall. The wind catching up into your air, or wind catching you up just a little tiny bit, just feathering through your hair, and you simply land fairly hard on your lower back and buttocks. That's going to leave a bruise. Frank Green is simply going to walk over to you and simply say, "Hi, what have you learned today?"
That didn't hurt as badly as it should have.
And why was that? He's currently just looking down at you. He's standing over you. You still on your back. He's just looking down at you, still standing up, like right at your head.
My guess would be being a vampire has its uses. And being a gangrel.
Mm-hmm.
And being
Supernatural resilience.
Hey, Mona. Yes, says Elena as she crouches. You're not scared of falling, are you?
I'm not
Let's get him.
as stupid as he.
Come on, let's get him. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Launch, going straight for Frank's back.
And when Elena says 3, I actually try to climb down a little bit more safely.
Pussy.
So,
Okay. So we have Mona climbing down, and we have Elena launching herself towards Frank. Gotcha.
I'm
Frank,
gonna have a
for his
pile
part.
up.
Yep. Frank, for his part, is let's just fucking do it narratively. You go ahead and you land on Frank Green. You actually land on his shoulders, just clamping onto him as hard as possible. Frank, for his part, is simply going to go ahead and grab you by the wrist as well and proceed to kind of situation away from falling forward to falling frontwards onto poor Jason over there.
That was the idea. I was angling it that way. It was going to be a fall onto Jason regardless.
Mhm.
Just arms and legs going everywhere, and there's this little poof, cloud of sand. Because it's just cute.
Mhm.
And if you want me to roll for I might just roll for a soak actually and see how busted up I get. Because it'll be fun. No problemo.
No problemo.
and
No problemo.
apparently Mona comes down quite safely and quite fast.
Frank, for his part, is simply going to try to untangle himself. He'll actually go ahead and not untangle himself. He'll actually grab Elena by the haunches of her shoulders, her upper forearms, and just simply twist her so that she is facing him, and simply say, "Do you think that was a smart idea?"
Not at all.
Good. And he sort of just throws you again down at Jason while he stands up.
Jason at this point is going to use my Protean 3 ability just to sink into the ground.
Oh, no fair.
Cheater.
Yes.
Cheater. Oh. Oh well. Elena just gets up, dusts herself off. What? It's how we met. She says it, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, where did you go?
Oh, sand.
Oh. Nifty. Another thing. Need to learn.
Not really. If you understand how to dig yourself a little grave or just know how to shelter during the day, you're pretty damn fine. This thing Dustin is
But
doing to dig him up in a few seconds. In fact, I'm going to walk over to my car and get that shovel out pretty damn soon, and then we'll see who's laughing.
but it's so nice to play with the ground.
I know we should make a sandcastle. No, you didn't jump.
I'm not stupid. I'm not mad like some younglings or some male.
It's not about being mad. It's a matter of toughening yourself up. You know what they say. You fall, you just get right back up again. And Frank will be very disappointed if you don't do that.
I prefer the Finnish way. I have been taking extreme sauna sessions, and actually that have helped me. I'm tougher now.
Once I sense that people have moved off my spot of ground, I will come back up.
See, you assume that. Feel free to come up and do the old ankle grab if you want.
I was thinking about coming up and going for another tackle from behind.
Do it.
I'm doing it.
How dare this little runt to show me up and get me all covered in sand in my best hobo suit.
3 successes.
Yep, pretty much just takes Eleanor's legs right out from underneath her. Not even gonna roll because you got a surprise on that one. And she'll just sort of go, what the? And straight over backwards, cracks her rib on one of the rocks that's poking out of the sand. Go, ow! No fair.
Frank Green, for his part, is going to notice the appendage, simply grabs the appendage, and if you want to do opposed strength checks, we can. But he's basically just going to go ahead and rip poor little Jason out by his wrist.
No, he'll come out.
Yeah. Do you think that was smart?
No, sir, but it was funny.
Fair dues. I've done stupider shit just because it was funny, but next time you do it and it's not funny, then you're going to have to answer to me.
Yes, sir. Instantly sobering up.
Go ahead and let go. Alright, fair dues. Oh, what the fuck. Anything else you guys need to ping me about? Because otherwise the sun is due to arrive any moment.
Jason will turn around and hold out his hand to Elena to help her up, but shaking his head. No, I'm good.
Elena will just take the hand and jump up and actually do a little bounce on her feet as she gets up. That was fun, wasn't it? We should do it again sometime. There's a bigger cliff just up the road there. It's not very far. And you know, with that trick that you can do, I bet you could even like dive straight into the sand and not even hurt yourself.
Maybe we'll have to test this out sometime. But
Can we
feet
go now?
first.
Can we go now? Is it now?
No, not now. Not with the sun so close. I still want to
But
get
that's
back to
half
the
an
town.
hour. Oh, all right. Well, that was fun. Great to meet you all. I guess I better go find a hidey hole somewhere because that great big fiery star isn't gonna stop for anyone. Elena will just actually become serious again for just 1 second, and for those perceptive and empathetic enough might realize that eligibility is very much forced tonight, and just look at Frank. It's like, you know, my position on leaving. We've talked about it at length. I'm sticking with my sticking to my guns, so to
I
speak.
understand that. I'm not leaving either, apparently. Not that they would want me to.
It's your call.
Elena,
At the end of the day,
there are forces at work bigger than me.
forces that work bigger than each of us. The only thing we can do is react to them at the end of it all.
When the deepest wild goes ahead and gives you a task, you do it.
It's a good task. You know my feelings on that too.
I know that, but you and me, we're gonna have to take a walk. And we're gonna have to talk a few things. I know for a fact that things aren't quite calm quite yet between you, me, and everything else.
In this kind of situation, it doesn't get much more calm. But that's beside the point. Sun's coming up, like you say. It's good to meet you both. Good to see you again, Mona. Hope to chase you with you again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe next time you manage to uh, kiss some hair thing.
Yeah, maybe I'll catch a rabbit or... I'm good at raccoons. Very good at raccoons.
Frank Green
Hey,
for his
Frank.
fire will. Yep,
Can we talk to dolphins, like mammals and stuff? Like,
I do it all
dolphins
the
are
time.
so... That is awesome.
Yeah. There aren't a lot of
Okay.
dolphins around here in this area, but you can definitely find them.
Sweet. Well, ocean's a good place as any. Don't think I'm going to make it back to the cave. And Eleanor will just start digging a little hole and burying her possessions and her sunnies and head on out into the ocean and say bye.
Frank Green is already following. It's Frank Green's plan to simply go ahead and wade into the waves, each wave splashing more salt water onto his legs, onto his trousers, onto his hips until he's just wading waist deep. And as far as anyone can tell, the last sign you see of him is simply him diving into the next wave and not coming back out.
Jason will turn to Mona, give a slight bow. It was a pleasure meeting you, and may
Me
you find a good
too.
rest of your
And
rest.
next time you might be a little bit wiser, not to try to tackle me.
But of course, I was just such into the moment. I didn't expect you to overtake her. My apologies.
Mona just chuckles and actually, because the sun is coming up quite soon, she hides a couple of the things she has with her in the bushes and melts to the earth for today.
Jason will go pick up his jacket and then start running down the beach until he hits any woodland areas before proceeding to find a resting place in the woods.
Alrighty then. Without further ado, the gang girls have gone ahead and haven for the burning day star goes ahead and ashes them all in the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And next time, more extreme cliff jumping.